Before we get into this special weekend edition of Just the Truth, let me tell you about the latest special from Michael and Dale at MyPillow. The standard MyPillow, normally $49.98 for a limited time only, just $14.88 with promo code Joey. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the radio listener specials, and see all the specials. There's a limited quantity of just 10 at this special price. That's $14.88 with promo code Joey. Thanks for joining me in the PhD Weight Loss Studio. To lose weight for the last time, visit myphdweightloss.com. Today we're going to talk about one of the biggest community cleanup efforts in America. Keep America Beautiful's Greatest American Cleanup. It's a coast-to-coast push to make our neighborhoods cleaner and greener, built on an award-winning program that already mobilizes thousands of communities every year. And heading into 2026, there's a big patriotic twist. A national pledge to remove 25 billion pieces of litter by July the 4th, 2026, America's 250th birthday. Joining us today is Esther Wagner, Awareness and Education Program Manager for Palmetto Pride, and a woman who has a passion for trash. Welcome back. How are you?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
It's always a pleasure to have you, Esther. All right, give us the quick snapshot of what is the Greatest American Cleanup and how does it build on the long-running Great American Cleanup program that activates thousands of communities throughout the year, and what Palmetto Pride does here every year in South Carolina.
Yes, so the Great American Cleanup is a Keep America Beautiful program that asks all citizens or all people to pick up litter beginning the first day of spring to the first day of summer every year. That's prime pickup weather. Not too hot, not too cold. And because the grasses are starting to be mowed, a lot of the litter is going to either be cut up or it's already, the grass is down and so you can see it easily. So this year they realized, though Keep America Beautiful realized, that we have a big party that we're going to be giving on July 4th, 2026 in our nation for our 250th birthday. And so what do you do before you have a big party? You clean up. And we're asking everyone in the United States to pick up 250 pieces of litter before July 4th, 2026 in honor of our 250th birthday. And the numbers, if we do that, the numbers very quickly begin to add up. There's approximately 342 million in our population, and if we just get 1 in 3.5 people picking up 250 pieces of litter, that is 250 million pieces of litter.
Wow.
So and if we look at Greenville County, Greenville County has approximately 570,000. If you just get 1/3 of the people, that's 47 million pieces of litter picked up just in Greenville County alone. And you start adding all of the areas that WRD listeners live in, and you've got some huge numbers of trash being picked up. So Palmetto Pride is we house Keep South Carolina Beautiful. We are the litter prevention organization in South Carolina, and we always have, we provide supplies. You can you can get on our website, you can contact us, you can even turn in, we have a form that you can fill out for a supply request. You can request bags, gloves, pickup sticks. You can also contact your local Keep South Carolina Beautiful affiliate, Keep Greenville County Beautiful, Keep Spartanburg Beautiful, number of those. So there are many places that you can go to get, or you can just grab a grocery bag out of your,
Sure.
It doesn't have to be a big bag.
Sure.
And it doesn't take long to pick up 250 pieces. I did it, really tiny pieces, took me about 30 minutes back in February. I did it.
So that's a pretty simple goal, 250 pieces of litter.
Yeah.
And if you'd like additional information, the website that Esther is referencing is palmettopride.org, palmettopride.org.
Yes.
But now, Esther, you shared with me that you have a bit of a different personal pledge of your own. Talk with me about that.
Well, 250 pieces is just too easy. And for those, I'm one of the people who just always see litter, and I pick it up. Even since I was a kid, we would pick up litter on our road. And so I realized 250 pieces was going to take just a short time, and so I committed to picking up 250 bags of litter.
Wow.
Now, this started July 4th, 2024. It's a 2-year program, and so I was picking up. I always have if I'm asking other people to pick up litter, I always have a personal goal of picking up something on my own time every year. And so my goal is always at least 1 bag a week, 52 bags, and that's our big green bags. They're a nice size bag. But and I'm 82 bags away from my goal, and I've got till next July to do it. But I don't want to make this. I mean, I have met so many people that put me to shame. I met a gentleman that was in his 80s it was on a Highway 49, his name is Jack, and he would get out every Saturday morning, and so a lot of times on Fridays too. He would go along the road just around the landfill, and he would fill up his gator. He had a little gator. He would fill up his gator and take it to the landfill, and then go back and pick up more.
Yeah.
I mean, he picked up hundreds of bags a day.
Yeah.
And there are people all over our state, all over our country doing just that. They're picking up. They are really committed to cleaning up. And I got to be honest, it is a little addictive. Once you start doing it, you will. First of all, it's great exercise. It gets you out. But secondly, it's just such a feeling of success when you look down an area that was just a colossal mess, and you can visibly see the difference that you have made in your community. And one thing I always want to talk about is that litter isn't just about making a place beautiful. It is about health and safety. The damage that is caused by litter is myriad. And it's as simple as your car and home insurance are higher because of the damage caused by litter.
Wow.
People die because of litter.
Esther Wagner is my guest today with Palmetto Pride. She's the Awareness and Education Program Manager. Now, Esther, you talk about, just picking up a bag, picking up 2 or 3 bags or 100 bags or whatever. For a first-time volunteer, someone who's never been involved, walk us through this. So they sign up to participate. They sign the pledge. Do they just do this on their own, or are there events that they can join? And once they have a bag or 10 bags, what do they do with it?
So the answer to whether they do it on their own or whether they join is yes, either one of those. There are litter pickups scheduled by all of the cities in Greenville County, several in Spartanburg. I know of. There's a lot of communities that schedule annual litter pickups. There are also groups. You can do an Adopt a Highway. You can commit to picking up a specific roadway multiple times during the year, or you can just go out and do a one-time cleanup. Grab a bag, as our Lieutenant Governor Evitt asks us to do. Just go out, pick up any bag. It doesn't have to be one of our green bags. It can just be whatever bag you can find, and go out and look for litter, and you will find it. We do caution, of course. There are safety issues. You do want to make sure that you're not, it's really easy to get focused on the litter and not think about the cars that are driving past you on the road.
Sure.
It's very easy to step on an anthill or get near a snake, or there's all different kinds. Get into brambles. The number of stickers that I've I've had to pull out are pretty. There's a lot.
Yeah.
But it can be, the number of shoes and clothing that I have ruined picking up litter is also huge. You just, there's a lot of stuff out there that you've got to be aware of, and so it is good to start with a group. You definitely want to consider safety first. We never want to have to report someone being injured or killed because they're out picking up litter on our roadways. Yep. But again, it doesn't have to be on a roadway. You can go to your local park, pick up litter. Go to the forest. Go walk the Palmetto Trail, and you will find litter. Go to a park. Go to a river. You will find litter.
Sure. Well, the message here is, Esther, is that we can all do our part, and what a great time to do that, to be a part of the Great American Cleanup. Pick up your 250 pieces or your 250 bags if you want to challenge or match Esther's personal goal of 250 bags between now and July the 4th when we celebrate our 250th birthday. Esther, we appreciate what you do, appreciate what Palmetto Pride does. Again, that's palmettopride.org, palmettopride.org. Esther, it's always a pleasure.
Thank you.
Today, we're spotlighting a powerful resource for families walking through grief. Tomorrow's Rainbow. The loss of a loved one is one of the most difficult life events a child could face. Tomorrow's Rainbow is a special place for children, teens, and families who experience the death of a loved one or some type of trauma. Their secret sauce, if you will, is the use of horses to help these children deal with their loss. On our guest line today is Beth Jackson, Executive Director of Tomorrow's Rainbow in Upstate, South Carolina. Welcome, Beth. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you for having me on the show today, Joey. I appreciate that. So we can get the word out and help as many families as possible.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure to have you. Now, Beth, for listeners who may be meeting and hearing about Tomorrow's Rainbow for the first time, give us, in a sentence or two, what you're all about. Maybe your elevator speech.
Okay, I can do that. So when my family farm went into a trust, and I have been teaching special ed for 20 years, what I found is there was so much more that the kids needed than just learning academics that I went to discover what equines can do because I knew kids and I knew horses. So we developed Tomorrow's Rainbow Upstate, founded on Tomorrow's Rainbow in Florida that had been operating for 20 years. We offer peer support groups that incorporate just the power of being around others their age going through the same sort of situations, and then infuse that with the power of horses, which are the only animal in nature that can truly reflect how you're feeling inside. So when we're teaching coping skills, we say, oh, okay, you approach this horse, you're feeling a little anxious, so are they. Let's see what coping skills we can use. And as the child learns to self-regulate, they see that reflected in the horse. So it's a very powerful relationship. It's all unmounted, there's no riding, and these are miniature horses, so they're not intimidating. They're very tiny.
Yeah.
Then we also add into that some therapeutic art and play activities. So the self-expression comes out through play when young children especially don't have words for those feelings. At the same time, then we offer a peer support group for adults run by a licensed clinician. So we're really trying to address the whole family and everybody's needs.
Yeah. With me today, Beth Jackson, Executive Director of Tomorrow's Rainbow.org. How many horses do you have?
We have 6 miniature horses, and we actually have 2 donkeys, which are a whole different ballgame altogether. Our teens and middle schoolers especially love donkeys because they're just very even-keeled.
Yes. You know, Beth, people often don't realize the emotional connection that you can develop with a horse. I mean, now you have miniature, so they're not quite as big, but still they're bigger than most household pets. But you know, you can really, and I say this from experience because growing up I had horses, and I had a particular horse, real original name, Trigger.
Of course.
And Trigger and I mean, Trigger was just like, he was like my family pet. I mean, I probably had a closer relationship to Trigger than I did to my dog growing up. Trigger loved apples, of course, but Trigger also loved Coca-Cola. And I would always take a bottle of Coke to Trigger, and Trigger loved that. And Trigger would also retrieve a tennis ball. I would throw the ball, and Trigger would bring it back to me. But we just really developed this bond that some people don't realize that you can develop with a horse.
Absolutely. And, you know, I hear stories like that all the time. People who say, I was having a tough time in high school, and, you know, I would go and connect with that horse, and it just changed everything and brought this calming peacefulness inside. We see it all the time as the children are grooming the horses. We'll see a child who comes in that is just obviously having things weighing heavily on their hearts. And by the end of that interaction, we can kind of see them whispering in the ear of one of the minis,
Yep.
and a big smile coming across the faces of the kids, and the self-soothing that they get just from that interaction. And also being outdoors,
Sure.
getting these kids out in nature and turned off of technology and tuned into the world around them.
Yeah. Beth Jackson is executive director of tomorrowsrainbow.org. Let me encourage you to go to their website, tomorrowsrainbow.org. You can find out all the various programs that they offer. And look, it takes money to run these programs, so be sure and click on that donate button, and let's help Tomorrow's Rainbow out. Beth, if you would, paint the picture of a first visit. The parent or child, they arrive. What happens in that initial meeting, and how do the horses fit in?
Well, so one of the things that I also want to note is that our services are cost-free for the families, because we want to make sure everybody, no matter of their personal financial circumstances, has access to our program. There was no grief center in the Upstate, so that was one of the needs that we saw that needed to be filled. When they arrive out on the farm, we are there. All of our program facilitators are in a circle waiting for the kiddos, and the kids come join us. The licensed clinician takes the adults over to their own location, which is really nice and peaceful because the adults are meeting over by our pond. And we take the kids, we start out the group with introductions the same way every time, because some kids are able to put a voice to what their situation is, and the others aren't ready. So they can always say, I pass. It's not like sitting in an office where they have to speak, which in office therapy, of course, has its extreme value. We're kind of the next step where we get them with their friends to learn to vocalize their feelings. So after we do introductions, we go into a therapeutic art activity. Those would be based on either memorializing the person that they've lost or learning more about coping skills. After that, we move into the equine interactions. So all the horses are lined up on cross ties. We have a set of brushes that with the older kids have a specific order so that they really are kept on a routine and structure, which is all helpful in learning self-regulation. They also have to clean a stall or two. And we say, hey, if these little guys are going to take care of you, we have to take care of them.
Oh, wow.
So they also learn that caregiving.
Yeah.
Then finally, we wrap it up with our various therapeutic play stations. We have a teddy bear hospital. We've got a water table, sand troughs, puppet theater, music garden, and then various other Lego stations and things like that. All of those are free choice areas. So wherever the child gravitates to the kind of activities that they need for their journey, so we just meet them where they are on their journey, because everybody's grief journey is different.
Sure. Now, Beth, how often do the groups typically meet? And once you develop this relationship with a particular child or family, how long does that last as well?
Our groups meet twice monthly. The younger kids, ages 3 to still in 5th grade, are on Saturday mornings from 9 to 10:30. Our older middle and high school students, they come on Thursday evenings from 6 to 7:30. And the nice thing is that it's completely open-ended. As children develop and hit different developmental milestones, we might have a 5-year-old who's in a good place, doesn't need us anymore, and they can step out for a while. Let's say that all of a sudden they're 9, 10, and their views on death are more concrete and they're starting to struggle again, then our doors are always open. There's no finite number of weeks they can attend. We want to be there through their entire journey.
Yeah. Beth Jackson is with me today. Now, Beth, Tomorrow's Rainbow is you're local here in the upstate of South Carolina, but the organization actually, as I understand it, started in Florida, and you saw the need to expand it here to South Carolina. Give us the need in numbers and trends, and why the decision to expand here into the Upstate.
Well, so Tomorrow's Rainbow started in Florida with our CEO and founder, Abby Mosier's personal experience when she was in a car accident with her husband and son. Her husband was killed instantly. And as she went around trying to find services for her son, unless you had really wonderful health care, there wasn't a whole lot out there. So fast forward 18 years, and we met and really hit it off. I went down to Florida to see what, a group really looked at and see the power of it all. So we just started looking online. The National Alliance for Children's Grief puts out an estimation model called the Child Bereavement Estimation Model each year. So when we looked at that, we were astounded to find out that South Carolina had a higher ratio of children and teens ages 3 to 18 that would have somebody in their family die. Our statistics this year are that 1 in 9 children will have somebody in their immediate family die. And that doesn't even include friends, classmates, other people in the community. In Florida, it wasn't that high, so we thought, wow, there is so much need in South Carolina. I had the farm, I had the child knowledge, and it just made sense to bring it here. The wonderful thing is also that all of the funding that I raise in the Upstate stays in the Upstate.
Yeah.
It's not like a franchise where Florida is getting anything from it. In fact, one of my first questions was, okay, if you expand, what's in it for you? The answer was, we're just helping more kids.
Sure, exactly.
We're just, yep.
Yep. For folks who may be listening and they're saying, okay, how can I help? What are some of your biggest needs right now? And is there an opportunity? I mentioned earlier, of course, you can go to the website, tomorrowsrainbow.org, click on the donate button. But what about volunteer opportunities and other ways that people might be able to help?
Absolutely. We depend so highly on our volunteers because really time is the most valuable asset that anybody has. So we love our volunteers. There are a variety of ways to get involved. One of the most important ones are our program facilitators that say, okay, I will dedicate my time twice a month to one of our groups. That comes along with a 15-hour training that goes through child development, grief, what is grief, what isn't grief, how to peer facilitate a group. So that's a more intensive one. We also have people who just want to come out and do a special project or do some gardening. A farm takes a lot of work on so many levels.
Yeah.
Then we have our corporate business sponsors, and they like to do different projects. We've had different ones create some of our flower beds. ScanSource just finished up our new teddy bear hospital. We actually have a ribbon cutting on the 23rd at the farm at 4:30 to honor that.
Wow.
And we've had Girl Scouts work on our musical garden. We've got an Eagle Scout who's going to start working on our memorial garden. There's just a variety of ways. We also have our annual festival called Pony Partner Roundup on October 19th. It's a Sunday afternoon from 1 to 4. It's our big fundraiser of the year. So we've got, probably 50 people signed up to help run the children's pony-themed games and to help with the face painting and popcorn and cotton candy, all the different areas that need manning for that festival too.
Yeah.
Lots of ways to get involved.
Yeah. Well, again, you can go to tomorrowsrainbow.org and check this out and send Beth a note and let her know that you'd like to be involved. One final thing, Beth, as our time comes to an end, we have about a minute left. Leave us with a moment without sharing private details. To give us a story that captures the impact that tomorrowsrainbow.org is having.
So when we get stories back from families that captures moments, we have this one very, very sweet family with a lot of loss in their lives. So the family was having a memorial service on the annual date of the person who had died in their family. And the parents said, you know, what was crazy is we finish up each of our groups with a candle lighting ceremony where they put a memory stone down and share a memory of the person. And then they light a candle saying, I light this candle in memory of. So they said that their little tiny kids, 4 and 5 year olds, said, hey, while we're here, can we do what we do at Tomorrow's Rainbow and share a memory and light a candle? So that's just one of the many stories that we hear about how that transfers back into helping the whole family along their grief journey.
Yeah, well, Beth, you're doing such great work there. If your family is grieving, or if you want to stand in the gap for a family that maybe is, reach out to Tomorrow's Rainbow. Programs are free. Groups meet throughout the year, and the Upstate team is here ready to help. Again, tomorrowsrainbow.org. Check them out. And if you can, give generously to help support these programs. Beth, thank you again for your time today, and thank you for what you're doing in the Upstate.
Well, Joey, thank you, because we have a wonderful community here, and the more we all do together, the better our entire community is. So
true. If you've listened to me for any time now, you know my choice for firearms, ammo, and just a day of shooting is C&C Indoor Range. In addition to good deals on all your shooting supplies, C&C has a very knowledgeable staff. They have some great training throughout the year. And one thing in particular that caught my attention is, and based on what we've been going through this past week, the assassination of Charlie Kirk in a very public space, not to mention mass shootings that we've witnessed this past year, some of those including churches. So on our guest line today, the owner of C&C Indoor Range, Leslie Harrell, who is having an upcoming training session that will help churches keep their congregations safe. Leslie, good to have you.
Thank you for having me, Joey.
Let's start, before we get into your upcoming training, with the assassination of my colleague, Charlie Kirk. I'm curious of your take on this, Leslie, and that shot that killed him. Did the shooter just get lucky, or was 200 yards with that rifle not really a hard shot?
Joe, that's not a hard shot at all. With the rifle that I'm understanding that he was using, the bolt action, center fire rifle, with very little practice. I mean, if I could take a new shooter and literally within 15 minutes have them shooting, a 2-inch circle at 200 yards. It's not hard at all.
Wow. Yeah, I just wondered about that because he appears to be the suspect, a young man, 22 years old, and we don't know much about him yet. We don't know about his history with shooting guns, but I was curious of your take on that. Leslie, anywhere we go now, we can be targets. Schools, shopping malls, and yes, even churches. You have some training coming up on September 25th, Securing Sacred Spaces, Faith-Focused Protection, Real-World Preparedness. And that's the truth. We have to be prepared, don't we, Leslie? We can't pretend that it's not going to happen at a church.
100%. I mean, it's all too common now. You see it. It seems like at least a biweekly or monthly basis that there's some type of shooting at a church or some type of an attempted shooting at a church, and it's just it's a shame, to be honest with you. And the lack of being prepared is not an excuse anymore.
Yeah, talk with us about this training. What will people get specifically?
Yeah, this is a partner with Right to Bear. I've been partnering up with them for a couple of years now. So they do a lot of good training and do these classes throughout the nation. Now they've really expanded, right here in the core of South Carolina, but they've expanded nationwide pretty much. But some of the topics we're going to be covering in this course is building an effective church security team. Not too many years ago, churches didn't have security teams, and now it's pretty commonplace that all the churches are building these teams. Then one of the other things is going to be threat recognition and response. So just being there and be on the security team, recognizing what these potential threats what they would look like.
Yeah.
Your legal protections and liabilities, understand that from the congregation standpoint as well as an individual. You need to understand that going in to be a church security team member. Emergency preparedness and planning, without that proper plan in place, if something happens, hey, what do we do when something happens? Without that proper training, you're setting yourself and your congregation up for failure. And lastly, the real-life case studies and lessons they've learned from these incidences across the United States.
Yeah. My guest today is Leslie Harrell with CNC Indoor Range. You can find out additional information at ccindoorrange.com. They're located on Asheville Highway in Boiling Springs. Leslie, we often hear that churches are soft targets. What does that mean?
A soft target, because it seems like you go in a place of worship, and as you would think, you could have your guard let down, so to speak. This is your safe place, kind of like your home. But in reality, Joey, it's the exact opposite now, because these people realize that churches are soft targets, and now they're concentrating on them.
Yeah,
which is why the security teams have been built now.
Yeah. Let's talk about who should attend this upcoming training on September the 25th. Do you have to be a church security guard to attend this?
Not at all, because again, just to being a congregation member, if you see something that's out of the ordinary, you need to be able to recognize this and learn what this looks like to be able to relate this to someone who is a security member of that church.
Yeah.
So no, anyone's welcome. Just a congregation member, pastor, youth leader, or security team leader for sure.
Yeah. And how do you register? And is there a cost?
There's no cost to that. There's a registration link I can get over to you, Joey, if you want to link that somewhere. But there's a link that you can go to register for that class. The seats are limited. But I can get you that link for sure.
Sure. Okay. And I will post that on my social media and website because this is important training, and churches, I think the title of it is very appropriate. We have to be prepared. We can't just sit back and think, well, my church is not going to be a victim because anyone, anywhere you go today, whether it's a shopping mall, a sports event, a church. This is the world that we're living in now, isn't it, Leslie?
Absolutely. I mean, you look at school shootings to churches, they're typically the soft targets, and both of those have to be, you have to have that proper training and recognition to help prevent this.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I certainly appreciate what you guys are doing and putting this on. It's much needed. And before we leave today, talk with us a minute about what's going on at CNC Indoor Range.
Yeah, so we're entering what we call, the fall season, which is a great time for me. Man, we're getting out of this summer heat. People are wanting to get indoors to shoot. The training is still prevalent, and man, it just kind of gets everybody excited within this industry. Summertime's kind of a lull in nationwide in this industry. People are on vacation, things of that nature, and now everybody's kind of getting back in the grind of putting some lead down range. So we're excited about the fall season for sure.
Yep. And again, their website is ccindoorrange.com. Now, and other than this church training, are you still doing other training as well?
100%. I just taught a class yesterday, intro class, and we're staying busy with that. Even South Carolina's open carry state now, Constitution carry. We're still doing lots of CWP classes, and people want that additional training. They want to know, hey, when can I carry? Where can I carry? What's the legal ramifications of what I do? So that's good that people are taking the initiative to take these classes.
Yeah, because you should always still feel comfortable with that firearm that you're carrying, even if you don't have to have a permit to do so. Leslie Harrell is my guest, CNC Indoor Range. Again, that website, ccindoorrange.com. They're located on Asheville Highway in Boiling Springs. If you want to just kind of freshen up and feel more comfortable with your firearm, run by and do some target shooting. If you'd like to purchase a gun, they've got a great inventory there. And Leslie, if you have a firearm and maybe there's something that needs to be repaired or something, you do that as well, right?
Yes, sir. We have an on-site gunsmith. He's full-time with us, and we do lots of gunsmithing services for sure. And this time of year, we're sighting in tons of rifles, preparing for deer season as well.
Yep. Leslie, it's always a pleasure to catch up with you. Appreciate your time today.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir. Have a great day.
That's it for this special weekend edition of Just the Truth. Thanks for joining me in the PhD Weight Loss Studios. To lose weight for the last time, visit myphdweightloss.com. If you haven't joined my mailing list yet, visit my website, joeyhudson.com. Click on the Connect with Joey button so that you can receive our emails and the most up-to-date news. Also, join me on my YouTube channel. Be sure and like, comment, and subscribe. Just search for Joey Hudson. As always, thanks for spending a few minutes of your day with me. Do me a favor and forward this episode to a few friends. Just click on the share button and send to your contacts. We need to build an army of conservatives to win our country back, and we can do that by continuing to share the truth with our friends and family. Keep those comments coming via the Furman Ford text line, 864-477-JOEY. Email to joey@joeyhudson.com, and I love your messages on the MyPillow message line. Again, that's 864-477-JOEY, 864-477-5639. Be sure and take advantage of the MyPillow special, just $14.88 on the standard MyPillows when you use promo code Joey. Order online at mypillow.com or call 800-893-4053. We're back again tomorrow and hope you'll plan to join us. Until then, remember, God's got this. He's still in control.